This video is brought to you by TrevorBauer.com. We got sword shirts coming very soon, so be sure to check it out. Keep your eye out. Get yourself some merch. Let's talk about Miguel Cabrera, and I'm going to get this out of the way right away. Miguel Cabrera is probably my favorite baseball player, okay? He's definitely top 2, top 3, and I love watching him play. There's a couple reasons why. One, he's elite. He is like the best of the best, and I just love watching elite performers do elite things. And he's been doing it for a long time. I've faced him a lot while I was in Cleveland. I was very upset a lot of times after those matchups, but it was always entertaining for me and fun because I get to match up with the absolute best to do it. Another reason why I love Miguel Cabrera is because he loves playing the game. Like, he just has so much fun playing the game, and I love the fact that you can be an elite performer and have a lot of fun at the same time. That's what we should all aim for. The third reason that I love watching Miggy is because he's smart as hell when it comes to baseball, and you trying to figure out what he's thinking, and if he's beating you to a certain area of the plate or a certain speed, or if he's going to change in at bat, or like it's a chess match with him, as well as being a physical competition. Those are kind of 3 things that I really respect about him, and I figured what better way to celebrate Miguel Cabrera getting his 3,000th hit than to give you guys some of my insight, having faced him a lot, and look at his 500th homer and his last 4 hits leading up to 3,000, and walk you through what I see having faced him over 50 times, like what he's thinking, what he's doing, and things to watch out for and stuff like that. So let's jump into it. This is his 500th homer, and this is such a great example of what Miggy does. Now, the first thing to point out is that Matz is on the mound here. It is 83 pitches in, and it is in the 6th inning, which means that Miguel Cabrera has faced him twice today, which means he's going to the plate with a pretty darn good knowledge of what Matz has done to him. So if Matz falls into the same pattern, he's in trouble. Let's check out what happens. Fastball in, not close enough. Miggy just kind of gets out of the way. 1-0. Fastball up, and you get a sword out of Miggy, and you look at his face. Let's go back. If you look at his face here, he's like, I can't believe I did that. All right. Now, what does this tell you? I mean, this ball isn't that far away from the zone, so you might read it as like he started to swing and he realized it was a ball and like tried to hold up, but like didn't quite hold up, and he's mad that he couldn't hold up because he chased a ball. That's not really what I think is going on here. Miggy is sitting on a pitch. He read this as the pitch he was sitting on, and he didn't get the pitch, so he tried to hold up, and he ended up swinging, and he's mad that he couldn't hold his swing because he didn't get the pitch he was looking for, not because he chased a ball. And we'll see why I say that in a second, but look how late he is on this ball. The ball is in the catcher's glove, and his barrel's nowhere close to the zone, okay? That, to me, is an alarm. Miggy doesn't take swings like that, and it should have tripped an alarm in Matz's head that he was looking for something other than a fastball. So what happens on the next pitch? Bang. Okay. That's the homer. Great moment. Awesome. We'll get to it in a second, but let's talk about this real quick, okay? Miggy just checked his swing and sorted himself on a ball just up out of the zone. I'm going to go back to that fastball because I think it's important to look at where this ball was and the trajectory. Here's the fastball. Here it goes. And it's on this line, and it ends up here, okay? That's the line of the fastball. Now, let's scroll forward and look at this changeup. Here comes the changeup. Watch what line it follows. It looks exactly like that fastball. It's here. It's there. Comes out of the same slot. It's right here. Look at that. Those align, and let's look at where the changeup ends. This ball is off the plate away. Now, what you would expect out of this changeup, the result that you would expect of throwing an off-speed pitch running away from a hitter that ends up off the plate, is a weak roll-over ground ball. He's going to be out in front of it, he's going to reach, he's going to roll his hand over, and he's going to dribble the ball to the pole side. What does Miggy do? He's perfectly on time for this pitch. Look at Miggy's body. Watch Miggy's body. Is there any hesitation here whatsoever? Right there. The foot is down, the hips are going, he swings, and he drives this ball. He is perfectly on time for this changeup off the plate, away, running away, and he drives this ball out of the yard oppo. How the hell did he do that? Well, he was sitting on that specific pitch. And the reason he swung at the fastball above the zone is because he read changeup and he went to hit the changeup. And it was a fastball and he tried to hold up. Now, this reminds me of one of my favorite stories. Mike Clevenger has told it a couple times. I love this story. Mike Clevenger's facing Miggy, and Miggy's in the on-deck circle, and he looks over at our dugout, and he goes, second pitch, changeup, homer to right center, which is exactly where he hit this changeup to right center. And Tito is there in the dugout, and he kind of looks over and he goes, I hope he's kidding. So he goes up there, first pitch, ball. Second pitch, Clevenger shakes to a changeup. He throws it. Miggy hits a homer, but he pulls it to left center. So he's going around first base with this huge smile on his face, and he looks into our dugout rounding second, and he goes, I missed it by a little bit. Like, it went that way, not that way. But he called the pitch, he called the second, like when in the sequence was going to happen, and he called the result. Is that luck? No. He's studied tendencies, he's studied patterns, and he knows exactly what this person's going to do, and he's good enough to go up there, sit on it, and execute it. So I thought there's no more perfect way to hit your 500th homer than doing that, because it shows all of the things that he's so good at, which is 1, he's an elite physical talent, 2, he's an elite thinker, and he plays chess with you. And if you watch him rounding first base in the following clips, you're going to see that he loves playing the game. Look, he's so fired up. He's so happy right there. And this is a cool moment. It landed in the dugout, or in the bullpen, I should say. Bullpen catcher gets the ball. He's looking at it. Way better than if this ball had gone in the stands. I'm sure a fan would have loved to get some Miggy merch and signed bat and all this different stuff. Miggy's usually pretty good about that stuff. But went to the bullpen catcher, and so Miggy gets that ball back. Here he is in Toronto. I mean, look at this face. The guy's just cheesing. He's having a blast. He's in a visiting ballpark, hitting his 500th home run, taking a curtain call. Now, to be fair, Detroit is very close to Toronto. There's probably a lot of Detroit fans here, but he's getting a standing ovation from the baseball fans there. That's freaking awesome to see that Toronto fans give standing ovations and know the game well enough to know what's going on and get up and honor one of the best players. Let's look at some of the hits that he gets leading up to his 3,000th hit. He's facing Severino right here with the Yankees, and let's just take a peek at this sequence. Fastball in, kind of ties him up. Now I'm going to play the whole sequence so you can see what happens, and I'll walk you through it afterwards and talk about what I saw and what's going on. This is one of Miggy's favorite games to play. If you take too long, he'll just wait for you to come set and get your sign, and then he'll call time and reset. So there's the split of the changeup, that's the slider, and here we go, a fastball in, kind of shakes his hand a little bit, changeup again, he rolls over, and Miggy is going to get an infield hit. That's something that does not happen. He's laughing about it. Can you believe that just happened? So let's talk about this. Let's look at this at bat. First pitch, fastball in. Now, second inning, man on second. It looks like this is Miggy's first at bat, 0-0 game. So he's going up there looking to see how Severino's going to approach him, and he is super late. Look at when his foot gets down. He's nowhere close to triggering on that. Now, I don't read that as Miggy trying to swing on this pitch and laying off a ball. I think he was up there taking and just seeing a pitch, and he's kind of playing this up like, ooh, I'm going to back up, and that kind of was in on me. I think it wasn't on him. He does this stuff all the time, though. He kind of like plays it up and like tries to DQ a little bit, like, ooh, I didn't like that pitch, and the next one he'll hit the same pitch out. So he's always like using his body language to like make jokes, but you don't know if it's a real thing or if he's just joking around or what mood he's in that day. Like, it's very deceptive, and it kind of makes the pitcher think, because at least for me, I try to read a hitter's body language to understand what he's telling me. And so when a guy can joke around like this and basically be mocking the whole at bat and just making fun of it all, like, it disrupts my ability to read where he's at, and it makes it a much more difficult at bat. So anyway, ball one, he's kind of looking out at Severino. Let's go back. Whoops. Let's just look at this. He's kind of looking out there like, I mean, look at that face. Like, I don't know, is he serious? He seems pretty serious. He seems like, I'm staring at you, like, are you trying to throw at me? But that's one of the deeks. He's just like kind of backed away like this, and now he's staring at you like, so it's like making fun of it, but then like staring at you. And we'll see that continue later in this at bat. Next pitch, fastball in. Now this one's in the zone, and we can see that he gets a pretty good swing off, but he is definitely late on this ball. Now you might think that he's trying to hit this ball this way and pull it, because of course you have to pull an inside pitch. That's not true. Miggy tries to take this upper part of the strike zone and hit it this way so that he can be on a fastball over here to hit for power this way, and he can be on any off speed that starts here and ends up down in the zone. He can be on that to pull it this way. That's his approach. So he gives up the fastball in and will just shoot it the other way for a hit, and that puts him on time for the fastball away to drive the other way, and that puts him on time for off-speed stuff in the zone to hit for power to the pull side or up the middle. And that's really a really good approach if you can do what Miggy does and shows in this at-bat, which is why I wanted to highlight it. So he's late on this fastball in. Now, he's looking out. We got no sign going on here. Severino's just looking in. Miggy's like, okay, enough's enough. So he waits for Severino to kind of come set. And as soon as, you can watch, like Miggy's holding the same position, and he's like, okay, I know I'm gonna call time, but he waits for Severino to come set because he doesn't wanna get back in the box the next time and then have the pitcher trying to get the sign. So he'll sit there and he'll wait till the pitcher gets the sign and comes set, then he'll call time, he'll reset himself and make the pitcher reset himself and be like, okay, enough waiting is enough. I've seen him do that multiple times. Calls time, next pitch, gets a changeup. Now, he just got a fastball here, and he swings through this changeup. So clearly he was looking at this and he's like, oh, that might be a fastball away, and he's trying to take that ball and drive it for power over here. And you can see that he just gets beat by this pitch, and he's way over the top of it and out in front of it. And you can tell by his reaction here. Look at him, shakes his head. Watch his head. You can see him right here, he shakes it, yep. And then he looks out there and I think he says bueno, which is good, like it's a good pitch. Now this is like a super intense look here, but like, is he joking around? Is he serious? I don't know. So far you would say he's serious. Then he gets a slider, doesn't go for it, gets a fastball in. Now look at this. This pitch is way up and in out of the zone. Look how late he is on this pitch. Look him draw his hands in. Look where the ball hits on the barrel. If we zoom in, like this ball is gonna hit right on this line between the handle and the barrel. Like that's getting jammed a ton, all right? Now he fouls this off, and he's like, woo, that hurt my hand. Now, did that actually hurt his hand? I don't think it did. He's just kind of like playing the at-bat. Remember, he like backed away and was like, ooh, you know, fastball was close to me. Then he like looks out and he's like, yeah, nodding his head on the changeup, like, bueno, good. Now he's like doing this with his hand. Also, on this pitch here, I mentioned that he tries to take this fastball up in the zone and shoot it this way for a hit. Anything up in here, he will foul off just like that. I've had at-bats against him where he'll foul it off like that, and he'll foul the next one off like that, and he won't get anywhere closer to being on time, and I'll throw 3 or 4 in there, and he'll look out at the mound like, you gonna do it again? I'll do that again. Like, what do you want to do here? And at some point, you can't just keep throwing the same pitch because it's very clear that he's just going to keep doing the same thing. He's not trying to get a hit. He's just spoiling the pitch. He's good enough to spoil that pitch and force you to make a mistake either over the plate or throw a different pitch that he can be on time for. And that's what we see happen here. You get the changeup. Well, actually, we see it in the next at bat. You get the changeup, the same one that he said was like bueno, like that was a good one. And he's over here just laughing it up. Like, I just got an infield hit. Can you believe that happened? Like, he's like the cat that ate the canary right there. Now, I've seen, and this is a cool moment, 297 or 29.97 going up there. I've seen Miggy with that same cat eat the canary grin. He took a ball that was up and in, went inside of it like this, and we had him in a shift. So we had 3 people on the third base side of second base and no one at second base. And this ball literally just dribbled over there and ran about, I don't know, 5 or 10 feet on the outfield grass. And he has this grin. He's pointing at the ball as it's rolling towards second base, laughing about it as he runs towards first base, got this huge grin on his face. But he's good enough to do that. And that's one of the things that you may not see as a casual fan. You may just think, oh, he got beat on that pitch and it went through the shift. That's unlucky. No, that's his approach. And he's actively doing that and just willing to take his hits because he knows that, like, okay, I'll hit 300, I'll hit 330, I'll just take my hits over there, and sometime you're going to make a mistake, you're going to try to get me out with something else, and I'm going to whack it. So let's look at the second at bat. Now remember, he swung and missed at a changeup, and he grounded out weakly, or not out, but he got a base hit, but he hit a weak ground ball in the infield on a changeup, and he was getting blown up with fastballs in here. So let's see what happens in the second at bat. First pitch, he takes fastball right down the middle, clearly had no intention of swinging, which is what I think his intention in the first at bat was, which is to take the first pitch. Okay. Wait a second, did we miss a pitch somehow here? First pitch is right down the middle. Now it's 1-1. I don't know what happened there, but it's 1-1. So we get changeup, and he sees that a lot better. Look at, like, there's very little budge on this changeup. You get just a little bit of a hip trigger, but like nothing remotely close to a swing. Now, this changeup is a ball, but he swung at he swung at one that was right there last at bat. He clearly sees this pitch and is like, yep, I read that. Danger time for Severino. Fastball up, and look at his face. He's like, eee, I almost had that. Now, let's compare and contrast this swing, let's watch it again, with the swing that he was super late on the pitch up here that he fouled off in the first at bat. Watch this swing. Bang! You think he's late on that pitch? He ain't late on that pitch at all. Look at the barrel get out front. He is perfectly on time for that, and he just missed it. So this is another thing that he does. He will set traps, and he'll understand how you're trying to get him out. The pitch before this, he saw a changeup down here, and he didn't budge at it. The first at bat, they got him out with changeups down here and fastballs up here. It's 2-1 because he just took a changeup down there. What do you think the pitcher's going to go to? Well, the other way you get him out, he's going to bounce back up there with a fastball. Miggy beat him to the spot on this one. He's like, I know what you're going to do. I'm going to sit on it. Normally, he takes this ball and tries to dribble it this way or foul it off. This one, he said, screw it. I'm hitting this pitch, and I'm going to pull it way out here, which he will do at times. He'll sit on a pitch up and in, he'll hit it for a homer, and then be like, okay, that proves that I can hit that pitch. Now everyone's going to see that in the scouting report, and they're going to stay away from my power. They're not going to want to throw me up and in because I just hit that for a homer, and then he gets to go right back into the approach that he wants to be in anyway. So every now and then, he'll choose this pitch up here to sit on. He'll hit it like way, way, way gone, pull side, and he'll be like the cat that ate the canary. Now, he does that right here. He beats Severino to the spot, and he's like, eee, and he's mad at himself because he got the pitch he wanted and he missed it. Next pitch, 2-2 count, change up away, and we get this nod, like, look at the head. He's talking, saying something to Severino like, uh-huh. Now look, now he looks over at the opposing dugout. Remember, he's looked serious this entire time, right? He's had these actions, but he's had this intense look on his face. So he's nodding to Severino. He's saying something to Severino. Then he looks over at the dugout, and he's like, man, change up, fuck. Like, let's look at that again. He's like, he sees someone, he's like, you, points, like you, change up, right there, change up, shakes his head. I think he says, fuck. Shaking his head like, I can't see that. It's no good. So he'll bounce back and forth between like looking super intense and like talking to people in the dugout. He's in the middle of an at-bat here. It's 2-2. He's like, talking to people in the dugout. He's like, oh, it's time to hit again. Okay, I'll get back in the box, and like, whack. There's a little bit of foot movement. Now that slider just kind of a waste. You know, threw a wrench in the at-bat, threw a slider, missed with it pretty bad. So we get to 3-2. Come back with the fastball up. Now remember, first at bat, super, super late on this. Got his hands blown up, hit it off the handle. Let's look where the barrel is on this one. I mean, he's late on this a little bit, but not by much. He almost hit that, and that's 98 up and in out of the zone. And he almost got that. And he nods over to Severino like, okay, all right, good pitch. I'm on you. I'm like, yep, it's a battle. And now what does he get? He gets the mistake in. Hard to say that 97 on the black in is a mistake, but he's seen these up here and been just on him. Now he gets something that's a little bit more hittable, and look at this. whack, right on it. Hits an absolute missile. Bang. So he'll spoil those up there. He'll just spoil them. Can't get him out, can't beat him with it, and then you make a mistake, and he hits it. Now, 6th inning, we get a reliever in there who also throws very hard. He's taken the first 2 pitches of the at-bat, or he's taken the first pitch of the at-bat, his first 2 at-bats. So what does he do on this one? Bang. Swings at the first one. Now, doesn't get to it. He gets kind of blown up. We see how this ball like continues to run in, and it gets in on the handle. He's kind of like, his body's kind of going this way. Swings at a ball way off in. I mean, this ball's half a plate off the plate in. But the point of this at-bat is to show that like you can't count on him always taking the first pitch. He went up there basically auto-swinging on this first pitch. That's the only way Miggy is chasing a fastball that ends up that far in on the first pitch. He knows green. He's faced green plenty of times. He knows what the deal is. But he was auto-swinging this. He's like, yep, I'm going to get a fastball. I'm just hacking. Now, it works out for him that the ball squirts through, breaks his bat. We get 29.99, and you can see this. This is a really good view of how this ball, this ball is supposed to be over here. This ball misses. It just continues to run in. He stays inside of it, draws the handle in, and almost gets the barrel to it. But look at his head. Look at his head's on the ball, not moving at all. Look at the way that his hands come through the ball. Really, really pretty swing. His swing's fantastic. And he gets a hit. So that puts him at 29.99. And now we get the final at bat that we're going to look at today. First inning, 1-1 count. And he drives the ball the other way. Now, this is the exact type of hit. If you look at the defensive alignment here, we got a guy here, a guy over here, and a guy over here. This whole part of the field is wide open. And what does he do? He literally splits the uprights. Look where this ball rolls. Ball rolls like right through the uprights. Really impressive that he can do that. And he takes this ball in. Now, it wasn't supposed to be in, but he takes this ball in, and he doesn't hit it very well. But look at this swing. This is not a power swing. This is I understand what the situation is, and I'm just going to take my hit. And he just stays inside the ball and just shoots the ball that way. He didn't hit the ball here on accident. He hit the ball there on purpose. He knew he had that open. He got a pitch that was inside, fed right into his approach, which is hit the inside fastball over there kind of weakly so I can be on time for everything else. And this is what we get. Now, that's exactly what he would do to me on the one that I was telling you about, where he was like literally pointing at the ball and like laughing at it as it rolled through the infield. I mean, it's eerily similar. Now he's pointing at this for a much, much different reason. 3,000 hits is a tremendous accomplishment. But watch what he does here. Watch him at the plate. Let's zoom in on it. He hits this ball, bang, and immediately just starts pointing. He's pointing right at the ball, and that's that. Now, obviously, like I said, for a much different reason, he's celebrating an accomplishment, which is pretty tremendous, and he's just having a blast. And this is such a cool moment. Iggy comes over. They played together forever in Detroit. Iggy's bounced around. Miggy's still in Detroit, and they have a really cool moment. There it is. Look at that. Look how easy that swing is. Let's watch it again. This ball runs in. He's fine. Look where the ball hits on the bat. Doesn't really get the barrel to it. Hits kind of up here. He's fine with that. Just shoots it the other way. Very calm, collected, just placing the barrel on the ball. Having a blast. And that's what I see. So those are some of the things. Hopefully you guys learned something about Miggy. He's one of the best hitters you'll ever watch play the game. Probably the best hitter of his generation. I can't really think of anyone else that would be better. Certainly there's people that are in the conversation, but for my money, having faced him so many times, his approach, his swing, his knowledge, his everything, it's one of my favorite players to watch. It's going to be a sad day when Miggy is no longer playing. Hopefully we have some more years of him. Hopefully I get to face him again. I always love matching up with him, but that's what I see. That's what makes him a Hall of Famer. That's what makes him one of the best of all time. And it's just such a cool moment. 500 homers, 3,000 hits. Not a whole lot of people do that. So I wanted to make this video, celebrate him, and show you guys a little bit about what makes him so great. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't already, go over to trevorbauer.com. Sword shirts coming very soon. See ya.